Hello, I am here to drop in this evening to put forward a collective reading, and this is just a general reading about the work that is to be done this week in order to prepare us for that full moon coming in Pisces on September 10th, okay, which is next Saturday. So this is going to be a really important week. I feel there's a lot of work to be done leading up to this full moon in Pisces. It is a very important moon, I believe. And I think it's really coming through. The download I'm getting around it is that it marks an important turning point in our journey. Things are going to be very different after this particular full moon. I think it's going to act as somewhat of a road opener. There's going to be a lot of clearing that's going to come through. A lot of old stuff is just going to be laid to rest and released, and it's like we're finally hopping in our chariot, choosing which way we want to steer our course, and we're moving forward. So this message was really coming through strongly for the collective, that it would be supportive to do a reading just to tap into the energies in play and what spirit, however you relate to spirit, is asking of us at this time in order to prepare ourselves, the work that we should do this week to get ourselves ready for this journey. And in particular, I'm really putting this forward for those who have gathered here to take part in the Panchakarma that I'm hosting for the community, the free Panchakarma. There is a playlist, and it is on the home channel page. If you just scroll down to the bottom, you'll see it's called Own Your Fire 40-Day Community Panchakarma. I have all kinds of instructional videos up there, all kinds of information, and it's a guided journey, something I really wanted to offer as a seva. But I just realized today that actually during our most intense week of cleaning and clearing and releasing and really doing the Panchakarma work, we're actually going to reach the culmination point of that and finish our deep cleansing on full moon. I didn't plan it like that. It just happened like that. So it's just so cool. So if you're interested in really doing some clearing and release work and inviting in some blessing energy, hop on to that Panchakarma. It's not too late to join in with us, okay? And yeah, you can just catch up with where we're at right now. Watch the videos that came before so you kind of know what's going on, because I did put some building blocks in place, but come along for the ride if you're open to it, okay? So this is for the whole collective, all signs. When signs do get called out in this reading, it's for any strong placement, sun, moon, rising, Venus, and North Node, all right? And because we got Mercury retrograde also coming in on that Pisces full moon, and it's going to be retrograde in Libra, I'm also going to throw in Mercury placement in there, and we got a lot going on with Mars right now. So Mars too, okay? So when those signs come through, sun, moon, rising, Venus, North Node, as well as Mars and Mercury, okay? Pay attention to your placements, and let's just dive in. Ooh, cut of the deck energy right here. What do we got? We got the Magician coming through. I love this. So I feel like this is very much what we're in the process of right now. We're in the process of initiating change, transformation in our lives. We're doing that alchemy work, you know, where we're really bringing forward that energy of merging opposites and sort of weighing out what we've learned from the past cycle, what we're ready to invest our energy in moving forward, and how can we integrate the best of the past with where we are at present, turn that lead into gold, and have it really support us as we move forward on our journey. So that Magician energy, that's that Aries energy, which is so perfect because the new moon that came in Virgo, the influence of that we're feeling all the way up until the 25th when we have the new moon in Libra. That new moon in Virgo was square Mars, okay? So Aries ruling planet, Aries front and center in this cycle, okay? Mars is also a ruler over Scorpio, so of course we are still doing that, karmic cleanup work. We're really clearing away a lot of the unhealthy patterns, our shadow aspects, that need to be acknowledged and integrated. It is important to integrate the time that was spent in the shadow. Your shadow will always be with you, though. It's not going to go anywhere. That's just the nature of reality. We live in a dualistic reality where there's light, there's shadow, and without the shadow, there would be no light. But once you have done that work where you've made the subconscious conscious, 5:55 on the clock when I said that, that's the key to change. 5 is all about rapid change. And the sooner that you can really acknowledge your shadow and not fight with it, not struggle with it, but in fact move more into a space of compassion, and understanding how these patterns of behavior developed, the sooner you can transform that energy. You don't have to live from that place. Yeah, you can move into this 9 of Pentacles energy. Again, cut of the deck as I'm just shuffling here. 9 of Pentacles, that's that pre-Empress energy. And I feel like there's so much of the collective right now is in that space of that pre-Empress or pre-Emperor energy, okay? Where you've done so much work on yourself and you've really been investing in yourself. I think there's so many who have really been showing up and they've been doing the work, and not just showing up when it feels good, but showing up when it's been hard, showing up when it's been painful, showing up and doing that work. And the payoff is coming in. There's no need to live from this place of lack with the 5 of Pentacles anymore. There's this desire to step out of the suffering of the past, to release the attachment to suffering and the way that even that attachment has served you. We often don't like to look at that piece, like what we got out of our negative patterns of behavior, how it served us, how it worked for us at one time. And I think now we're really beginning to move beyond that. We're ready to evolve. We realize that's not the way forward. The way forward is to transcend the limitations and, call in the highest expression of ourselves. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I just had the Page of Swords show up in reverse. I'm liking this energy. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, okay? This is normally about, being kind of sneaky with the Page of Swords here, but I see that, there's no more sneaking around. There's no more avoiding the elephant in the room. This is about really looking at things as they are, and also being willing to step into a place of radical transparency. There's a certain freedom and radical transparency when you are so honest that you can just show up, let yourself be seen as you are. No artifice, no need to, put on an act. There's something really powerful about this. And, I'm getting this piece with social media too, that it might be kind of a good challenge this week. We live in sort of a filtered existence, right? We live in this filtered existence where everything has to look picture perfect all the time. So, if you're somebody who's been using filters on your pictures, maybe, see if you can move out of that comfort zone and let yourself be seen as you are. Like, drop the filters, do you have to be so made up all the time? I'm made up today. Ironically, because I'm working on a project that has to do with this particular material that I'm talking about right now, and so it's part of what I was doing some filming for today with this. But this whole piece of image and how you present yourself to the world, and is it accurate with who you really are, is really coming in quite strongly. And how this is reflected not just in our relationship with ourselves, but also our relationships with others and the general flow of our life, how we interact with life in general. So I really see this as kind of like a challenge that's being issued forward here to Think about how you're showing up and see if you can take the risk to just let yourself be seen as you are. If you're somebody who relies on filters a lot, like try dropping the filter. If you always feel like you have to have a full face of makeup, take off the makeup. Let yourself just be who you are, forget about the body tune and all that shit, trying to fit into some homogenized ideal of beauty or what is considered desirable, and instead affirm yourself and see what does it feel like when I let all this kind of posturing and this social positioning kind of shit just fall away and I let myself show up as I am. What does that feel like? What does it bring up in me? I think it's a powerful inquiry and sort of a powerful exercise too, okay? Yeah, look at this. We got, and again, it was a Virgo new moon that came in, and this is Virgo's archetype right here, the Hermit. I think this is really powerful to just move out of that shadow and use, what you learned in your time of integrating all that kind of heavy stuff that we've been closing the gap on really since like 2010. We're closing a big cycle. It's like a 12-year cycle here that we're closing up, of really intensive healing work, a lot of time spent looking at our shadow, looking at the ways that we hold ourselves back, looking at our challenges, looking at our vices, looking at our addictions, looking at our attachments, looking at where we need to, pull things out at the root. Where do we need to heal? Where do we need to mend? Where do we need to let go? And so there's, this piece about this is how the light comes forward in you. It's like the light comes forward in you from that time of being in the dark, and sort of illuminating this, and now stepping out of those shadows, to bring that light forward, in a humble way where it's about just letting yourself show up as you are and knowing that that is good enough, okay? Bottom of the deck energy, 4 of Wands. I see this is like a homecoming. I feel like it's really a homecoming kind of energy, and there's a lot of celebration in this. It's like coming back home to yourself, it's like that soul reconnection and really feeling a sense of belonging. And it has nothing to do with approval of anyone outside of yourself. It's that you've come to the place of really just understanding your place in the world, that you're here, so you have value, your life has value, you have value, and what you have to offer has value, and it's different from what anybody else has to offer, and that this is really to be celebrated. It was 1313 on the clock when I said that. For me, 13 is a power number. I actually was born on the 13th, but it's also kind of like a witch's power number. So to me, when I see 13, that's like big affirmative statement, and I feel like that is an empowerment, to just really feel at home within yourself and comfortable within yourself, and to celebrate that, like how good it feels to sort of shake off these ideals and to start exploring that it's okay to be you just as you are, that where you're at is absolutely perfect, and that even within the perfection there's that imperfection sitting there side by side, and it is that dualistic balance, that is always present in life, and it seems like they're opposites, but they're not. They're the same side, they're different sides of the same coin, but you're on the same side, you know what I'm saying? So this is like wish fulfillment. This is what brings happiness, and I feel like this happiness is through reconnection with yourself, with this 2 of Cups. I see this really, it's like an integration. I feel like that's what's happening with this full moon that's coming in with Pisces energy. It's just all about really understanding how the past and the present and the future, it's all one trip, it's all one moment, and there is no gap. Like it's all here all the time. And your past had value, and it will bring so much enrichment to your future. And even now, it's giving you opportunity to step into a whole new level of experience, and that's beautiful. And there's like a reuniting energy in that, to not feel so divided within the self anymore, and be willing to see the value, even in what was painful, even in what hurt. Okay. And letting that light come back in, letting that light come back in with the star and the love along with it. Okay. I think that there is a lot of hope coming in here with this full moon, and it'll be an emotional moon as well. I do think it would be really beneficial if you can do some cleansing baths, if you can do some cleansing showers. You can always turn your shower into a spiritual bath too. You don't have to sit in a tub, think outside the box, but just connecting with that water element and using that water element to cleanse away the old energy, to step into the new, and with gratitude, letting those experiences, be washed clean of you, and allow that to open your road ahead so you can really enter a new kind of flow. It's interesting. I feel like there's love that's coming in too. There's love coming in to heal the hurt of, what caused these endings. We have the star to the 5 of swords to the 10 of swords. There's some big cycles closing here. And I think the thing is in order to really close the cycle and step into this love that wants to come forward in your life, and it's a love that's first birthed within you, and then yes, once that love comes forward within you, once it bubbles up inside of you, then the person who can really meet you in that space and join you in that space is going to be drawn to your path. I feel like we're entering a time where a lot of souls are reconnecting, and when I say that, I don't just mean romantically. Okay, I mean souls who are going to be important to our next chapter in life. So it's like a whole new cast of characters is coming in. And in some cases, they're reconnections. They're reconnections with people you haven't seen in a long time, but now you're at a different space in your lives, and it's really important for you to have another kind of go around from a new place of understanding with each other. There's something to be learned here. There's a gift that comes forward here. But I'm also picking up that there's reconnection with people that, you were with in past lives, and now it's time to address that karma, so a whole new cycle begins. We start the fool's journey again, and we begin anew, and there's all new lessons and all new things to integrate, and all new ways of discovering different aspects of ourselves where we hold ourselves back, because this goes on and on and on. As long as we're alive, as long as we're breathing, as long as we have a heart that's beating, we're going to be learning and growing and shedding skins. And there's going to be times when it's uncomfortable. So what's important though is when we enter those pain cycles, that we allow ourselves the space to really feel what we feel, that we don't try to avoid it, that we don't disconnect, that we don't sweep it under the rug, but instead we really lean into it. We dive into it and understand that it's a medicine that can really open us. If we let ourselves fall into that vulnerability, it's a way through. It's actually a way through to everything we need on the other side of it. That so often we push it away with fear and resistance, and we're being asked to just let this go, release our attachment to the suffering, release our attachment to our sense of betrayal, and do so willingly, to be open to it, to say yes to it, because the ending is coming. The ending is coming whether we resist it or whether we open ourselves to it. But when we resist it, we actually create a certain thwarting energy for ourselves. It's almost like we cross ourselves, you know? That's when you cross yourself. You end up being the obstacle in your path because you have an attachment and you continue to nurse something that's already done, that's already had its death, that's already passed, it's already transitioned. 2020 on the clock when I said that, you know? Hindsight's always 2020. Don't let it be years down the road that you look back and think, oh, I wish I would have just released. I wish I would have just let go. And it was 2033 on the clock when I said that. So it's like, you're not alone in this, okay? You got partnership with spirit. You got your guides are all around you, your ancestors at your back. You got spiritual community, you know, people that you connect with on a soul level who are here. They're doing this work with you. We're doing this work here, you know? So this is a time when you're not alone. You're not alone in this desire, you know, for something more, to reach for the path of heart, you know, as Carlos Castaneda discussed it. Reach for that path that has meaning, you know, that path that lights you up, that feeds you, you know, on a soul level, that's worth threading the eye of this needle, you know. It's worth it. It's worth it to get to the other side. But you have to cut the cord to the suffering. You have to be willing to lay down the suffering. And so one piece that's coming forward is it would be very helpful for all of us to look at ways that we've been attached to our suffering and how we felt our suffering was serving us. And that's a pretty deep inquiry, but it's a valuable one with the High Priestess coming up here, okay? And again, High Priestess, Pisces card, 22 on the clock when I said that. So much alignment coming in. And this alignment brings gifts. And it really is this alignment about understanding that the shadow is not about being rejected. The shadow actually serves the light. If we didn't have this opportunity to dive deep into the center of the wound and experience everything that was there, we can't grow into this change that actually allows the unfoldment of our purpose, which is what's coming in right now. Like, we're hopping timelines, we're getting in alignment with our purpose and the new direction, and everybody is feeling the momentum of this. Everybody is feeling the building of this energy, okay? But you got to let down your guard a bit, you know? You got to let down your guard a bit, let this energy in, and be willing to release what needs to go so this world can turn and bring that pearl of wisdom forward for you that will guide you on this next leg of your journey. And this is a fact, man. We got that with the Judgment here. Rest assured. Top of the deck energy. King of Pentacles coming in, okay, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and I do believe that this is also speaking of that Virgo new moon that we had, and that Virgo new moon, you know, this king is coming in with an Ace of Pentacles. There is something that you seeded with this new moon that is going to be watered, with this Pisces full moon, and it's all in proportion to the amount of work you put in now to prepare yourself to receive that blessing. So get yourself open, get yourself ready. And when that Pisces full moon comes in, it will be like a spiritual cleansing in and of itself. And in fact, I encourage you, go outside and think of those things that you seeded with that Virgo new moon and do some moon bathing. Let that lunar essence come in and water that seed you planted so it can sprout and grow within you and through you into the world and bring your beauty forward, bring your ashe, your gifts forward into the world. Yes, this is the work to be done, okay? With the Three of Pentacles, it's coming through pretty clear. We're moving away from the suffering. We're moving out of the darkness. We're moving away from choppy waters, and we're starting to get a clear passage to the way forward. This also reminds me, I have to say, this reminds me as well of the barge, the barge, that death barge, that the boat that carries souls from death to the new life, the afterlife. And this is kind of like we're heading into the afterlife. We're in the before now, okay? And this Pisces full moon is going to take us into the after. And it's interesting. I recently did a reading that was all about, seahorse energy. And in mythos, the seahorse guided sailors that had drowned from death, to the afterlife. So I feel like, again, that water energy, that water element, it's coming in really strongly. We have support for this passage that we are embarking on now. Okay, so this is the work ahead, and I'm really feeling this message that's coming through. Oh, God of the deck energy, Empress on the board. Okay, Libra, Taurus energy, front and center. I think this is especially pertinent because there's a lot going on with Venus right now. Venus rules both of those signs, and Venus is currently doing a dance with Uranus. Okay, so this is really about working with this energy. Surprising growth is on offer. Surprising gifts are on offer. Surprising new beginnings are on offer. I'm really getting this. And it's also this energy that's very much about stepping into that fullness of life, stepping into that embodiment of all four queens or all four kings. I feel like you masculines, you're really opening up emotionally. You're really integrating your emotions. You're learning how to speak from your heart. You're learning how to take the guard down, drop the drawbridge, actually let that love into your life. Let the tenderness in. Let yourself express yourself. It's this really beautiful energy coming in, and it's all about this abundance and growth and creativity and bringing new things into being, birthing new paths, and so much soul connection and so much balance on offer if we show up and we do the work. And that's the thing. We all got free will. We got the choice. Look at this. How beautiful. On the other side, we got the Strength card. And that is the Empress taming the beast of the past, the old stories we had been attached to that kept us in holding patterns, not through force, not through rejection, not through denial, but actually through compassion, gentleness, openness, and grace. And it provides a beautiful new beginning and way through. Let's do this.